3, 2, 1, release, release, release.
Woo! Release my gains. Oh, that is money to my eyes. Oh. Hey all, Choiboy here. Welcome to another portfolio update for May 2021. Hope you've been looking forward to it. It's been quite a ride actually, quite a roller coaster ride. Nothing too much going on except for a few good newses and I don't know if it's good news but neutral newses as well, and I'll cover these for Blackberry, Plexure and Virgin Galactic. Nothing changed in the number of companies I hold. I still hold the same amount. I didn't add anything or sell anything in the past month, so that's a TLDR. Before we go into it, disclaimer, not a financial advisor. Please take everything I say with a grain of salt because I'm not right all the time, and you know, you gotta cross-check all my information with your own research and make your own decisions when you're buying or selling a stock based on anything I talk about. So if you got that, let's get straight into it. So you can see that the value has increased just a bit from the previous portfolio update. It was like 16.1k, you know, last one, and this time we got it back up to 17.2. I did see this go up nearly up to 18,000 when Blackberry was hitting like $11.40 last night, but it kind of fell back down when the market closed. So that's that. I'm not doing too bad anymore, actually. It's getting better. So yeah, that used to be like $200 negative, but now it kind of jumped back up to like 1.7k. Is like, that's how volatile the market is right now, because I hold a lot of volatile kind of companies, right? Blackberry, Plexure and Virgin Galactic, they're all pretty volatile at these point in time because they're not stable, they're not big companies, they're very medium-sized or small-sized companies compared to the other competitors in the sector. So $1,700 in the negative side, which is negative 8.86%. Slightly getting better. I would like to see that net positive coming in the next couple of months. I'm not going to rush into it, but hopefully it stays this low. I don't mind if it goes up from here too much, but if it does stay a bit low for a bit longer, I think I will be able to chuck in more cash, add another company, who knows. I've been looking into a lot of different companies and kind of looking into other YouTubers and what kind of companies or sectors they're focusing on. And yeah, just trying to analyze a bit of stuff and see what the next kind of big stuff is trying to be. So I'm always on the lookout. I am kind of low on cash a bit. I've been kind of like putting it into other investments or kind of preparing for other things like property as well. So I am thinking to infuse more cash. Maybe in the next year or so I'll be infusing more cash. Now it's because I already put like $9,000 in my account when in the beginning of this year in 2021 January. So I've kind of done my job, you know, like I wanted to kind of put in around $10,000 per year into the stock market, and that's pretty much it. But then again, it doesn't really limit me because if I have cash lying around, you know, I'm always willing to put it into the stock market. Just a bit low at the moment, but we'll see about it. Right, so we got the graph here. The graph has been going in cycles, I guess, ups and downs, ups and downs. Had a bit of a longer run to the downside here, then it recently picked up in the past, you know, week or two. So it's picking up just a bit. The numbers looking slightly better. It is making my, you know, heart feel a bit warmer. I feel the liveliness in my, you know, in my body now. I'm not dying. Looking at my portfolio, looking so dead every time, like, what's gonna happen with my stocks? But you know, it's coming up, so it's good. So the graph is looking, well, promising. Hopefully it kind of goes the uptrend in the next couple of months. We'll see about it. All right, so the first company I'll be updating about, Blackberry. It's the one that kind of drove up a bit recently in the past week or so now. So if we look at the past month, it's been kind of playing in the $8 range and even going down to the $7 range, but it kind of picked up for no good reason. Actually, I think this is where Wall Street bets comes in. So, you know, Blackberry didn't have much going on except for the fact that they had a report out, earnings report back in end of March. Now, that wasn't as much as what people expected. So they're like, okay, Blackberry is crap, let's sell it off. But then again, you got people like me just hodling and hoping for the best, because it's a pretty good company, I have to say. You guys have to look into the products of what they're building at Blackberry. It's not ready yet, but they're building a really good foundation. But the problem is, I don't really like the fact that it's being viewed as a meme stock, because Wall Street Bets kind of Redditors are kind of, you know, just pumping it and talking about it, and it just immediately becomes a meme stock to all the other kind of normal investors outside the Reddit kind of community. So these degenerates, I don't know if they're doing any good to the stock. Like, I can't tell if it's good or bad to the stock. But, you know, when we look at, you know, Wall Street Bets, it's pretty funny that the background changed a bit here. But also, you can see that now they have 10 million people in this Reddit community. Jeez, like, that's a lot. That's so much. But, you know, this is a pretty good kind of what's happening right now. You can see that Blackberry right here is the third most talked about kind of stock at the moment, and it's like a time lapse in the past day, I think, like 28th of May. So that was yesterday, right? So, you know, Blackberry is the second most talked about kind of stock in this Wall Street Bet as tickers. So no, that's pretty interesting. AMC is all the way up here. For you guys who don't know, AMC's been hitting some pretty good all-time highs. Well, I don't know if it's an all-time high, but it's like hitting like $30 or something. It was like only $6 like a couple of months ago. So, you know, if you were hodling on AMC, man, I don't know what's going on, but that's pumped like crazy. So if AMC could do it, maybe Blackberry can do it, and maybe they'll give me a pretty good exit strategy for the short term, I guess. I don't know. So, you know, if it does pump because of Wall Street Bets, it will give me more, you know, confidence that it will drop, because it is kind of hard to sustain a artificial pump. And, you know, when you're artificially pumping the market by just people buying it because they see it on Wall Street Bets, it's not really organic. So, you know, it's hard to sustain that. So if that happens, I might sell some Blackberry and try to buy in at a lower price. Who knows? We'll talk about that later. But yeah, it's just people talk about BB now quite a bit as well, so you can see a bit of that coming in. So Blackberry has been coming up probably because of Wall Street Bets, but hopefully it doesn't harm the stock, and hopefully it's all fun and games, you know, and it kind of starts and sparks people to actually look into Blackberry and find the deeper meaning of the company as well. So that's what I'm hoping for with Blackberry. Let's see what happens to that soon. Second stock, we got Plexure. So Plexure is quite an interesting one. As you guys know, I can't really talk much about the company in general because I hold insider information every now and then because the company tells me and I can't talk about it. But, you know, basically it's been going like pretty depressingly downwards. Like that's a pretty linear kind of downtrend there. So what is happening with Plexure? Now, first of all, since the capital raise, we haven't really announced anything. Like, you know, to be honest, like the company didn't really announce anything to the public. So the investors are like, okay, you guys took $40 million in capital raise and whatnot and all that kind of stuff. And where's the good announcements? Where's the news? Where's the new customers? Like, where's the growth that you guys are talking about? So that's what the investors are saying to Plexure. And I think Craig, our CEO, has kind of mentioned about things of what they're doing, and there was like a post-mortem from the financial reports. So have a look at that. I think he did post it up on the public. Let's go straight, like let's scan through it real quickly. So this is Plexure, and you can see in the recent financial report, you know, the revenue went up. So the revenue went slightly upwards. You know, year to year, it's doing pretty okay, but you know, the earnings went down. It's because we're ramping up the growth. And I think people need to realize when companies go through growth, they use more money than they make sometimes, especially in a small company like Plexure. So because we are ramping up the people and ramping up the infrastructure to sustain a really healthy future of Plexure's kind of cloud infrastructure, it takes a lot of money, and cutting down technical debt, these all things kind of cost a lot of money. And when you went from like 100 people to like 150, 160 people and have more roles in the pipeline to fill more, you're gonna use a lot of money, but it's all for the best of the company's future. So I think people really need to understand that we raised the money because we needed the money to use it for the growth, and the results of the growth doesn't come right away. It takes a year or 2 or 3 depending on, and you're in it for the long run once a capital raise happens, because you can't be like, okay, money has been raised, give us results. It just doesn't work like that. So keep that in mind. But it's looking okay. So you can see that cash infusion, like the capital raise, you can see that kind of pumping up the equity here. So got a lot of cash in the bank now. I think it's still pretty good. I personally think this financial report was perfectly as expected. I'm pretty sure Craig was also setting expectations with the public every now and then throughout last year and this year before the financial report. So I don't know why people were so surprised about the financial report. It was kind of expected, and I don't know what more people expected out of Plexure at this point in time. So I'm just going to say the financial report was perfectly as expected for me, and I still believe in the company. That's pretty much it. That's a pretty good summary of what I think about Plexure. So that's Plexure. Hopefully it does turn around. I think it's been hitting some bottoms recently, so hopefully it kind of bounces from this range. I don't really want it to go any further down, because I honestly think Plexure is worth a lot more than 73 cents, even post capital raise. So people have been asking me, hey, are you going to sell Plexure? Because in the past live stream, I've talked about me resigning from Plexure. So I've got 1 month left at Plexure. I will be moving to a new company. I'll be kind of revealing that company a bit later, and because then later on I won't be able to talk about that company as well, which I really don't talk about that company at all. Like, I don't think I've ever talked about this new company I'll be going to on my channels, but either way I'll let you guys know what happens. So hopefully in the next coming months to years I'll be able to talk about Plexure a bit more, because I would no longer be an insider, and as long as I don't have any insider info and I don't talk about those before it's announced to the public, then there should be no problem. And soon I won't be having any insider info, so it'll be good and gravy, and hopefully all is good. I'm not selling Plexure even if I leave, so you'll get to see it in the next portfolio update, so tune in for that later as well. Okay, lastly, Virgin Galactic Holdings. Now, this has been probably the most talked about stock recently because of their first ever complete kind of, launch of their product and services. So let's have a look at that really quickly. So this was the first ever space flight from New Mexico. Virgin Galactic on their main YouTube channel. Let's go.
3, 2, 1, release, release, release.
Woo! Release my gains. Oh, that is money to my eyes. Oh, yes. Yes, Virgin Galactic. This is what I wanted to see. Look at that. Beautiful. Graceful. Perfect flight. Beautiful machine as well. Enough of this. You get the idea. So this is a pretty interesting one. Yeah, Virgin Galactic pumped since that video, so people were very impressed. They're like, it didn't blow up like SpaceX's rocket launches and stuff, So that was a pretty interesting reaction from the market. So you can see that straight up it went like boop, like doubled in price like that. It was coming up, then it was just like this is why I love this stock, because I always believed in Virgin Galactic. It's like they have such a long history of R&D. It's like not many companies can compete with it. Like they were talking about Blue Origin, you know, Jeff Bezos's one, you know, that one being a competitor. I still think for this niche market of space travel, you know, commercial space travel, I think Virgin Galactic still has the lead over like all the competitors at this point in time, because you know SpaceX and Blue Origin, they've been focusing on kind of like going to Mars and you know the bigger kind of flights and not kind of bringing like ordinary people with them, where Virgin Galactic has been only focusing on that. So you know, for that reason, they've been making pretty nice sleek spaceships. As you can see, they were pretty nice looking as well. Flew pretty smoothly in my eyes, and even the CEO was pretty impressed with once he saw it. He was like, okay, I'm pretty proud of my product. That's a really good sign. So you know the market really reacted well to that, and hopefully it keeps it up in the trend, because if this thing works and if it starts generating money, it's gonna bring in so much money into Virgin Galactic. It's gonna be worth a lot more in the future. So hopefully look up for that as well. There wasn't much to Virgin Galactic other than that. So that was the portfolio update today. So a bit of reversal here. Hopefully it kind of goes up from here, or at least stabilize. I don't mind it consolidating a bit more, but I don't mind it going up, you know, up in an uptrend again. You know, this is the fun of growth investing. You really don't know what's going on, because these were already hitting bottoms, you know, before everything else. Is like, I have a peace of mind. I'm like, okay, I already saw the bottom and it's pretty low and it dropped so much from the all-time high. All right, what else do I lose? Nothing, because I believe in the fundamentals of the company. So that's what I'm kind of believing in. I'll be looking forward to the next portfolio updates. Hopefully I'm right about consolidation or uptrend. We'll see about that. If you liked today's video, give it a thumbs up, put a comment down below what you thought, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, it doesn't take too long, and put the bell notifications for my live stream updates. I kind of do it spontaneously, so it's best you put the bell notifications if you want to join into them and ask me anything about personal finance, or even have a chit chat with me. It's all fun and games. Until next time, I will catch you around. See ya.